Welcome YouTubers. Starting a new video series, 1001 Ideas I Missed. Because if we look at 1001 positions and figure out a better move than I could have made, we're bound to improve. So it's an audacious amount of ideas to think about, let alone put into our brains, but slow and steady we can do it. So here's the first position. This occurred only 8 moves in to Blitz game I played online. And move I played, 95. Pretty good. Better move, knight g5. So let's think about it. This totally this attacks the queen, but it also cuts off the queen. So the more you cut off a piece, the fewer moves you have to consider. And even a piece like the queen can run out of moves pretty fast. So let's consider this move, queen g6. Well, we can actually attack the queen again, and the f-pawn is falling. You can run a check, we block the check like this, say, and yeah, the queen has to move, and engine says castle, but why not just take this? And yeah, we could actually do it either way. We could take with the bishop, or we could take with the knight. Yeah, the taking with the bishop's a little less risky, because after this, take the rook, he takes here. Still should be great for white. These pawns are really weak. Where's this king going to be safe? But it's true, the knight may be trapped, and if white plays badly, yeah, 2 pieces versus the rook. Although any of these is fine. It's always nice. Tactic is always nice when you actually have many good moves. You can even castle here and ask white like what he's going to do about this. But I would take the bishop. Taking with the knight is also good. So what about here? Well, we can't play g3 right away. That would be a blunder because we lose the d-pawn. But just a nice, calm, quiet bishop e3. And these moves are always kind of nice when your opponent's in a bad position. You just say, hey, I'm giving you a tempo, but still, what are you going to do about it? And there's really no good move here. Engine says h3, but after g3, queen is trapped. So, and yeah, after not knight e5, but knight g5, queen doesn't really have any other moves. Say 8, oops, not that, because the queen's head. Say h6, we can do this old fork because the bishop is also involved, so it takes, and yeah, there's no other moves, legal moves. With the queen, again, black and throws check, we just block and we're fine. Yeah, no other legal moves besides taking the knight. Or, you know, here or here, but those are both terrible. So that is position 1. The journey of 1001 puzzles begins with the first one, obviously. Here's the second position, a very different position than the first. But I happen to love endgame puzzles myself. And I think most players should love them, or else. No, but seriously, everyone gets endgames. So opening puzzles, you might not never play that opening, or you may never get a position like that in your game. Although still, we all start with the same opening configuration. So I mean, the same pieces on the same structure. So opening puzzles are also good. This one, I really enjoyed this. I didn't enjoy the game because I lost the game. I'm playing black. White was a rook and pawn endgame, but I got my b pawn all the way up, and white had to sack his rook for it. And now we reach this position. So give it a minute. All right. I played king e6. This is winning, probably, but much, much better move. Rook c6. And this is not an intuitive move at all, because everyone tells you bring your king over, bring your king over. But what I did is I brought my king up here and here, and then I was too far away from the pawns. This move is great. If the pawn pushes, we get behind. We fork these 2 guys, and one of them is going to fall. We can take this, and then check, and then take this. Computer even gives us cheeky variation. hitting this guy, and after here, check here first. Yeah, you don't want to do that. And this should be easily winning. This pawn is not far advanced, and our king is right next to it. That's the computer line. More human variation and just much simpler to calculate is this. And say here, you can even play a6. Probably this is also winning. Yeah. b5, this pawn's a goner. And yeah, black will win this. What else after c6? Well, if the king comes up, you can just check him back. If he wants to come up, this is winning. These two pawns look very dangerous, but they kind of need to advance together if they're going to survive, and that gives black plenty of time. Just as an example. Yeah, remember they need to advance together. If this one advances, check, and it's lost. And we have this extra pawn, so it's much less of a worry than usual because you can always sack your rook with the last pawn. Well, if he does that, then it's captured, so and we can just take in queen. And I'm going to show you this cool checkmating pattern. Normally, you want to be careful. You don't want to let the pawn get to a7, obviously, let alone a8. But in this case, we actually can bring the king up, even let him queen. And yeah, I've had quite a few endgames on chess tempo and a couple tactics too that ended in this position. And everyone should know this. The queen, the engine is making arrows. Kind of reminds me of the Terminator. The T-1000 in Terminator 2. Oh, if you've seen this movie, if you haven't seen the movie, skip like 15 seconds. But anyway, when that Terminator's dying, it's like flailing around and trying its best, and that's what the engine is doing here, but there's no moves. Yeah, any check the queen can take, or actually here the queen can't take. You have to be careful taking the queen, and then you can give mate. So that is what could have happened. Briefly, I'll show you what actually did happen. So again, rook c6 is the star move. Instead, I came here, and then I came up and around, and this is just losing. Because look, I'm putting my king. My king doesn't want to be up here. He wants to be able to stop the pawns. And actually, b5. See, this is how endgames are. Even with relatively decent players, I'll call myself a relatively decent player. In blitz and even in slow time controls, you can go back and forth. White's totally winning, black's totally winning. It's a draw. Yeah, b4 would have been totally winning. Now I can attack both of them, but the king comes up to defend. Or even better here with the throw zone. I'll just show you how the game went. And these pawns were too much for me. I even won this pawn, which white didn't have to allow, but here I lost on time, and this is also losing. So that's the second position. And after knight d2, here's the third position. This one's much easier. Figure if you missed the first two, I'll give you a nice easy one. So white had a huge initiative in this position, just totally dominating me. But after here, I had one chance to snap this guy off because the knight had moved and now I'm threatening mate. So white doesn't have time to recapture anyway, even attacking my queen because I'm threatening mate. And yeah, here I can go back. Still actually quite a tricky position. This is the engine's recommendation. And I'm actually a piece up here, but these pawns are really strong, so the engine says it's about equal. But obviously equal is better than losing, and now I have attacking chances. So those are the three puzzles. We got 998 more puzzles to go, and I will be throwing them at you either 3 or 4 at a time. Thanks for watching.